I've been thinking about how everything is literally just what you perceive it to be. Reality itself does not exist. Like how Joe Dispenza says that the quantum is 99.999% nothing. There's a new video on his YouTube where he shows like his audience. He's like, do you want to see what an atom looks like? And he just shows like a black screen because it's essentially nothing. And that is why if you want to connect to your consciousness during his meditations, he asks you to become nothing, right? Like become nothing, no one, in nowhere, no space, no time, because consciousness does not exist in the world of matter. In order for you to perceive consciousness, you would have to go within, like you have to go beyond your five senses. And so again, this got me thinking about how reality is just what you perceive it. And so the only reason you are experiencing, for example, a lack of money, or, you're experiencing rejection from the person that you desire is because you are perceiving that circumstance. Because the only reason that is alive in your reality is because you are placing your focus on it. What I always remember is Tony Robbins talking about how we live in a focus-based universe. Or was that Abraham Hicks? Maybe it was Abraham Hicks actually, talking about how we live in a focus-based universe. Whatever you focus on becomes your reality. So if you're in physical pain and you want to feel better, and honestly, after I went to the Joe Dispenza retreat, I have so much respect for people who have healed from, chronic illness or like physical pain, because transcending pain that you can feel so real in your body, that's like next level courage. And that is really how I started my daily meditation practice, is because after I went to that retreat, I was like, what is my excuse? Like, this woman was so sick and she felt like real pain in her body. And she literally had to meditate some days in the bathroom, like on the bathroom floor for 2 hours just to, become her new self. I'm like, if she can transcend pain, like physical pain in her body, what is my excuse? Like, I'm just trying to change beliefs here. I'm just trying to change the way that I perceive myself and my reality. And so there really is no excuse. Like, if this woman can do it, then I literally have to do it. Because me complaining about being stuck in the same reality is the reason why I'm stuck in that reality. The reason why this person is not giving me the attention that I deserve is because I keep perceiving that person to be a certain way. And so reality and time and space don't really exist, only you do. And the way that you perceive your life is the way that life is. So lack exists in your life because you're not perceiving abundance. And so when you're perceiving abundance, does that mean that lack does not exist? Well, lack is somewhere there in the quantum. You're just not observing lack. So you're not experiencing lack because your perception is on abundance. And does that mean that lack is not there? No, because we live in a reality of million and trillions of possibilities. So all possibilities are there. They're like floating in the quantum, but whatever that you perceive becomes tangible in your reality. So start thinking about what you're perceiving in your reality. I guess this also goes into the quantum physics study, the observer theory, right? The observer effect, about how things exist as a wave and particle. And when they start to observe them, they come into form, something like that. Don't quote me exactly, but it's basically atoms like exist everywhere, and they're sort of like just waves, but when scientists observed them, they turned into particles. So they turned into form. But when the scientists stopped looking at them again, essentially stopped observing them and perceiving them, they turned back into wave. So that proves that what you rehearse in your mind, what you rehearse in your body, like the emotions and the feelings that you keep rehearsing in your body dominantly, right? Like majority of the time, is what you experience at the end of the day in your life. Because if we also go back to the notion of nothing exists but us, right? And so if nothing exists except for us, it means that everything in our life is just the things that we are perceiving. Like everything in our life is just our perception. And I guess the easiest way to explain this also is like it could be raining, but one person could perceive it as a good thing. My cat is here, so this is confirmation. And another person could perceive it as a bad thing. Okay. You know what's interesting is this cat of mine is obsessed with Joe Dispenza, because every time I do a Joe Dispenza meditation, every time I'm talking about Joe Dispenza, he just pops up. So maybe he knows Joe Dispenza's consciousness, because literally it's like clockwork. Every time I talk about him, he's like, hey. So yeah. But anyway, think about how you are perceiving reality right now and what could change if you perceive your life differently. So, for example, if you're perceiving a lack of money, are you simply focusing on what you don't have instead of what you currently have right now? And yes, that includes a dollar, a penny, a cent. Like if you cannot appreciate or focus on that, then nothing will ever be enough. And if we're going to take the example of a specific person, I actually had a client and we were on a call and she came to me because she wanted to manifest her SP. And I think it was like on our third call or something, we were just talking about how, you know, her SP had messaged her in the last week when we had a call and she seemed kind of down. And then she kind of hit me with, yeah, and then I had like a 2-hour lunch with my SP. We talked a lot about everything, but he still hasn't really asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was like, you had lunch with your SP? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, the SP that we've been talking about, like in the past 2 weeks that you've been dying for him to ask you out, and then he asked you out, and you had a 2-hour lunch, and you're still focusing on what you don't have? You literally just got what you wanted. And I remember being so baffled on the call because I'm like, wow, the lack mindset runs so deep that when you don't shift your lack mindset, you can truly be blind to what you were even asking for. And so I literally had to coach her because I'm like, okay, let's think about what is working. I know your end goal is for him to ask you to be your girlfriend, but what just happened today? And that's when she realized that, oh my God, yeah, like I just focus on what is not happening in my life. And that's the reason why some people just cannot get their end goal, is because they keep focusing on the lack. They keep focusing on what's not happening. They focus on the money that is not in the bank account instead of what is already there. They focus on all the people that have triggered them and don't like them instead of the people that are actually there in their lives, supporting them and cheering for them and hyping them up. And so you can never win over a lack mindset. Essentially, you can never win over somebody who's perceiving lack in their lives. I swear to God, my cat is like death staring me right now. And it's almost he's telling me like, you're right. That's just sort of like an example that I think about all the time because I'm like, lack is such a sneaky bitch. Like, it also comes back to that knowing that if you don't change your lack mindset at the root of it, it doesn't matter what you receive externally. Like, the outcome doesn't matter because once you experience it, there's still going to be something else missing. And so if you don't work on your lack mindset at the root of it, nothing will ever be enough. I promise you, you're gonna get the person, you're gonna get the money, you're gonna get the job, and it's just not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. I've been there. I've literally been there where it's like, I had the most amount of money in my bank account. And I was still like what is happening? Because this is not it. Like, I'm still not feeling what I thought I was going to be feeling. And it was only until I changed my focus from the outcome to myself. I changed the way I perceived my life instead of changing my life, right? So that means that it didn't matter if there was pain, suffering, sadness, all that stuff. It didn't matter that was happening. What truly matters is how I perceive my life and ultimately what my focus is on. So if you want to start to change your reality, start perceiving your reality differently. Start perceiving abundance and joy and gratitude and love and freedom and opportunities and possibilities. Start perceiving all of that instead of the opposite of that, instead of the things that you don't like. And I know that when things that you don't like is so alive in your reality, it's hard to take your focus off of it. But this is why nervous system regulation is so important. You know, it's again reminding yourself and helping you come back to wholeness, come back to soul, come back to love. And if anything, just come back to that I am safe. Like, I am okay, I am safe, everything is okay. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you want to go deeper, if you want to explore spirituality, your soul deeper, I have guides, courses, and programs that are linked below in the description box below. You could also book a one-on-one text coaching session if you don't want to invest in a full coaching session yet. Okay, it's a really good way to kind of just dabble into the world of coaching. And I promise you that 1 hour text and voice memos that we do in the hour is gonna change your life. Like, literally, it will change your life. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.